now, so it's going to be a drag race down into that first turn. The first Kawasaki on the inside there is going to be Joe Shimoda. Around the outside though, and it's Guillaume Perez who leads for Spain. Kaida Wolf in second, and then Hardy Munoz slipping up the inside. 1:11, he was getting over the Morocco seat, but quickly into second position. Is that, I think it is, isn't it, Justin Cooper?
Well, two monster star Yamahas out front, and if you're no stranger to this series, that's not a surprise. Those bikes are absolute rocket ships, and for Cooper, this is a big moment. He just need to get out front so he can get out of trouble. And this is his teammate. He actually got to race a few races, Bloodstreak and Ironman with Paris. They're no strangers to each other, actually practice with each other, and you already see Cooper making a move. I think you're going to see Cooper try to put in some hot laps and get a little bit of separation, especially from the likes of a Hunter Lawrence.
So Justin Cooper then leading the way on the very first lap. Guillaume Perez second. Hunter Lawrence, the green and gold of Australia, in third place. Hardy Munoz is fourth for Chile. Andrea Adamo, number 2, is up to fifth place. And Kaida Wolf 6, Muscan 7, Langenfelder, Everts, and Brody Connolly of New Zealand. Good start for the Kiwi there in 10th place. Ahead of Emma Wegman, Io, Josh Parisi, or Parise I should say. And then Resnis McClellan of South Africa, Kevin Holmo, Norway. And the rest, we'll get them over the line in a few moments' time though. But there is the number 2, of course, Italy, 1, 2 and 3, defending champions, having won in Italy a year ago.
Nice start for Muscan there in 7th. I was a little bit worried about him getting pushed outside there, being 29th gate pick, but to be on the top 10 on the first lap has to be a little bit reassuring for him.
So obviously with Tomac getting second in race 1, Cooper leading the way. This MX2 qualifying race, if you like, they will be at the top of the overall classification charts. We'll have that on our live timing here. But Perez making a mistake, and Hunter Lawrence making a mistake there. Adamo now up into 4th place. Kaida Wolf trying to find his way past, and a bit widely offline there for Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah, and I believe Justin Cooper went for the lead. That was a big topic of conversation. They had done some practicing here, some testing, and that was a big thing. Which sprocket do they need to use? Which gearing is ideal? Can we set up our gearing to make the lead, but also get the starts that we're looking for? And looks like on that first lap, he had actually gone for it.
So Hunter Lawrence, 114 of Australia. That's an all HRC Honda team this weekend for Team Australia with Hunter Jet and Mitch Evans.
Yeah, I was curious. I was thinking about that a little bit, the strategy there. Could they bounce settings ideas off of each other? But I think the chassis are so different between Lucas Oil for Motocross and MXGP. Probably doesn't translate all that well, but at least for strategic moves and lines around the racetrack, they can.
Kaida Wolf almost out the front door into the turn. Muscan got his hands full with Simon Langenfelder of Germany, and the German trying to be forceful, but he gets the door shut in his face by the 14 of Muscan and France.
Yeah, Marvin actually raced the 250. You see a rider down there, that's unfortunate, but Marvin Muscan actually raced the 250 at the finale of Fox Raceway just to get some time and just in preparation. I noticed his fitness was a little bit down at the end of those motos, but it was also 106 degrees Fahrenheit, much cooler conditions here, so I don't expect to see any fitness problems.
The rider down, Pedro Jose Suarez Yaramillo of Ecuador.
He was a fill-in. He was a fill-in for this event at the last second, so that's really unfortunate.
Guillaume Perez, no stranger to American fans, having done a couple of outdoor races back end of the year here. That's him in the red and yellow of Spain, and the 23 of Valentin Guillaume. So the Swiss rider having a problem there, and after finishing third in the MXGP race earlier, Jeremy Seawer, his teammate now, is left with issues.
I think if Hunter Lawrence ever has to pass another monster star Yamaha in his life, it would be too soon. It's just these bikes have been so dominant in Lucas Oil Motocross without winning a championship. But on the starts, on the early laps, these guys have really found a way to utilize that engine.
He was 2.3 seconds clear at the end of the first lap. Now 3.6 at the last split. So we'll get it as they hit the line at the end of this, what would be the first official full lap, because finish line to finish line to get a lap time and that, and it's 2:05.3, and he's already 4.7 seconds clear of Guillaume Perez, with Lawrence third, Adamo fourth, Muscan now up into 5th place, having found his way past Munoz. Kaida Wolf trying to find his way past the Chilean.
And Hardy, a notoriously great starter. It's no surprise to see him up here in the front. He's actually riding pretty well. The issue with Hardy is he finds himself on the ground far too much, but I think it's just from trying too hard. When he gets into these battles with these guys, he wants to go with them. He wants to continue to improve. Joe Shimoda down to 19. Not sure what happened there, but that's a really tough blow for Japan, because for them to get into this A final, they need a really strong result in this next race.
So he lost 8 seconds in sector 2, and he lost about 10 positions there as well. He was in about 9th place, so he's down in 19th at the moment, Joe Shimoda, just behind Mira.
Max Anstey also having a tough start there, down in 16th. So both of those teams, especially GB, I know they're thinking top 5, want to push for that podium. They would really benefit from getting a stronger result here out of Max.
Yeah, so let's give you a quick top 10 then, shall we? Justin Cooper leads from Guillaume Perez, 47 there, Spain. Third is the 114 of Australia, the green and gold on the Honda, Hunter Lawrence, and Andrea Adamo, number 2. For Italy is in 4th place, Marvin Muscan, number 14. France is in 5th place. Then we've got Hardy Munoz from Chile, 6th. Guy de Wolf, Netherlands in 7th, as Muscan trying to find his way past the number 2 of Adamo. Adamo riding this event for the first time, so maybe 1 or 2 nerves. Looks across helplessly as Muscan goes through, and he just gives him a nice big look there as well, as the Frenchman, as he takes over that 4th place.
Well, when you think about a rider like Adamo, he probably grew up watching Marvin Muscan win world championships back in 2009, 2010. A chance to race against him. He's never had this opportunity before. He's probably looking, when Marv looks over at him there, he's like, oh, you may have been my hero at one point. So that's what's cool about this race, is these guys, different cultures, different backgrounds. Even though Marv's French, he's been racing in America for 15 years.
Actually, there weren't too many MX2 riders getting over Larocco's lead. I just wonder if the reason why Justin Cooper, now 7 seconds clear of Guillaume Perez, the reason why he's able to pull that distance is because he is still getting over that. He was one of the riders. I think Guy de Wolf, Hardy Munoz was getting over it, but not that many. Yeah,
and I know Justin Cooper's mindset coming into this race, talking to the Motoventure Yamaha team, he didn't take any time off. He left Fox Raceway, and it was a really tough decision for him between he and Christian Craig to get on this team, and he wanted to make the most, but he wants to come here and show well and prove that he was the right choice for Team USA.
So there's your race leader, Justin Cooper, and I do believe he's still getting over Larocco's lead, because watch this here. When he came into land.
Just making the most of the racetrack. It's a fresh line there. Don't want to think anything sketchy here, but seriously, Justin Cooper looks phenomenal. And I talked to him quite a bit, Lucas from Motocross, and he made a point of, and there's Paul Parabinos, they're one of the consultants for Team USA, but this was a big deal for him. He raced in 2019, had a hand injury, didn't really get to show what he was made of, and he basically made a promise if he was chosen, you were going to get the best version of Justin Cooper this weekend.
Yeah, and Hunter Lawrence there now up in the 2nd position, and I think we just pulled away at the moment when Lawrence was about to go past. So up into 2nd position then, Hunter Lawrence, Perez 3rd. Yeah, Paul Barabinos, former wrench for Dean Wilson, and now at Rental.
Yeah, national championship winning mechanic with Dino. He's been around the sport his entire life. Former pro rider himself, so had a lot to offer, and that's really what it's been about for Team USA. Try to make strategic decisions, more camaraderie, have everybody kind of come together, and I'm hoping that will pay off on the result sheet Sunday.
Marvin Muscat then, closing in on the Spaniard, Guillaume Perez. This will be for 3rd place.
See Mark really leaning on that front tire. That was a lot of trust there, but he's really trying to get every ounce out of that KTM SX250.
Yeah, Perez getting over that Larocco's leap as well, and you see the difference between him and Muscat doing it, not doing it. Probably lose about a second, maybe.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of give and take, because Marvin's able to utilize that inside, but Guillaume is able to carry so much momentum up and over it, and then through the next section too. So I'm sure if Marvin felt comfortable jumping in, he would be doing it. But if you come up short, we've seen people ruin their entire race with broken wheels too. So that's the other side of it. Jorgen Talviko's not even in this race because of an earlier crash there, so you have to factor that in.
And actually, like I say, Perez can go outside, generate the speed to get over it, but even when you go inside and gain a few yards, when you double and then you hit the 3rd one, falls away quite steeply, so you can overjump and flatland there. So it's not, you're dealing with 2 aspects there, aren't you?
And my guess would be that Marvin's right on the fence. He can probably make it 90% of the time, but that 10% of the time, he may end up ruining his race.
This was just a lap ago. Look, this was Lawrence on Perez. Just as he went to the outside, Lawrence cut to the inside, and we cut away at that moment. So that was the pass for 2nd Lawrence putting on Perez.
Yeah, Gia made it easy on him there. You wonder if he almost just moved over a bit. He was under a lot of pressure.
And since then, actually, Lawrence has put in the fastest lap at 2:03.7 compared to the 2:04.6 of Justin Cooper. The gap 5.9 seconds. So we'll keep an eye on that because Lawrence has just set the fastest sector 2 time in the race as well. 27.8 compared to a 28.5 of Cooper. So we'll keep an eye on those splits as Marvin Musquin still continues to push the 47 of Guillaume Perez, who goes to the inside. Musquin goes to the outside, generating. Well, he was about to generate until he just stepped the back end out there.
Yeah, you see Marvin moving around, trying different lines, and probably didn't know that line had been blown out because that's a secondary line there. But I think Marv here, if he can escape with a top 3, would be okay with that, right? Get the weekend started, put a solid result on the board.
Oh, man down. Shimoda. Wow. So Joe Shimoda picking himself up. That's before you go over the Monster Energy. So coming down from the hospitality section there, look. Do they call that Talladega? Oh, wow, yeah, face plant cartwheel. Chris Carter would have been proud of that.
Got off there pretty easy. That could have been a lot worse. But for Joe, he had just such a breakout summer. Wins the final moto at Fox Racing. I really expected a lot, and it's early, right? This isn't the race for points. He can bounce back tomorrow.
And actually, he won the overall here in the summer.
Yeah,
I know Jet had a problem in the first race and won the second one, but he was consistent and took the overall, and that's his lasting memory.
And you just wonder if he knows he has to carry Team Japan. He has to be the anchor, and if that adds a little bit too much effort, too much pressure, you see the unforced error there.
Yeah, Shimoda down in 20th place now, so he was in 9th, he went down to 19th. Has picked himself back up, he's back down in 20th place, so a proper up and down race, up and down the leaderboard like a yo-yo. Joe Shimoda.
Another 2:03, another fast lap there from Hunter Lawrence, so this could get tight. We're, you see Hunter trying to close that gap down. The brothers Lawrence are not great friends with Justin Cooper, right? I don't think there's any hate there, but there's a lot of competitive fire between those two, and because they always battle for championships amongst each other, and that's just a natural side effect of being that competitive. But I can promise you that Hunter Lawrence wants to go catch Justin Cooper for personal reasons and, of course, Team Australia and all those things, but he wants to beat Justin Cooper.
Just looking down on the leaderboard here, John Mira from Team Ireland, he's in 19th place. Bear in mind, his teammate Martin Barr in race 1 came home in 23rd position. They are on the fringes of qualification at the moment after 2 races. They are now in 20th place, but they're on 42 points behind Finland, who are on 35. So the B final, places, it's pretty tight down there. You got South Africa in 15th on 33, same as Chile in 16th, no doubt helped by Hardy Munoz, and then Switzerland in 17th on 34, Latvia 35, same as Finland, Ireland on 42. Right, Kai de Wolf will use this outside line to get the distance. No, he doesn't. I don't think Adamo gave him enough room to operate. These two fighting over 5th place.
Yeah, these two obviously battle it out every single weekend in the MX2 class, and no strangers to each other.
Team Italy and Team the Netherlands, and he has found his way through, but the Italian might, think twice about it.
Yeah, de Wolf making a move there, and de Wolf is so young, moves up into 5th. You wonder what's going through de Wolf's mind, because he's watched Team Netherlands be so strong at this event, and he probably feels pressure to really show up, but I think more than anything, you just can't blow it. You just need to put in a really strong result.
Well, both these riders, and Perez actually, so Perez in 3rd, de Wolf 5th, Adamo 6th. First timers at the Motocross Nations. Langenfelder, he's been in a couple of times, so obviously he knows his way around this event, and from that side, those nerves, just get those nerves out of the way.
Yeah, and I think for MX2, we only use 5 results out of 6 on Sunday, right? And you see Max Hansen there back in 20th having an issue, but you don't have to be the hero of the team. Hopefully the seasoned veterans are going to put in their best results. And you see Marvin move up past Maris there, so pretty nice ride here from Marvin. I'm sure he would want to be up there, and I'm sure he didn't love watching Hunter Lawrence ride off into the sunset. But again, like I said, top 3 is fine. We just want to get through Saturday without any real issue and move into Sunday with a great starting position and a clean slate.
So with Liam Evans in 8th place after Jago Kitz won the MXGP category. They are in 4th as it stands right now. But the USA on top with a 3rd, with a 2nd and a 1st, so 3 points for them. Australia on 6th with a 4 and a 2 because Lawrence is in 2nd place. Evans was 4th in race 1. Spain with a 5th and a 3rd. But Justin Cooper set his fastest lap of the race a moment ago, but then just dropping from 203s to 204s. Gap between him and Hunter Lawrence pretty comfortable, actually, 8.3 seconds. And Spain are on 8 with a 5th and a 3rd. Belgium in 4th with a 1st and an 8th. Then we've got France on 11, the Netherlands on 12, Italy 14, Germany on 19. A little bit further down the order, just outside of the top 10, Great Britain on 12, on 28, same as Sweden. New Zealand on 31, and South Africa 32, but 35 is the cut-off point as it stands right now.
And you never want to look too far into Saturday. It's just a qualifying day, but I thought that was a really strong response by Justin Cooper there, because Hunter Lawrence put in a splurge of energy, dropped his lap time, tried to close the gap down. Justin Cooper in turn puts in his best lap and pulls the gap back out. And these are the little mental games that are played back and forth.
Liam Evans just off the back of this trio, dropping downhill now, looking the baby blue. 3rd rider in shot, 2nd rider in shot now.
Remember, his teammate Jaco Gerrits was your MXGP class winner, so they're battling. They want to get into that on that podium for qualifying on Saturday, and Everton's doing his best job to move forward.
As a start gate, anywhere in the top 5, 10, 15, where would you say?
I believe so, yeah. As long as
we're talking with these top nations.
Sure, a solid result. As long as you're within that, I think top 5, it's irrelevant, other than you get to choose where you go next to your competitors. But, you know, the biggest thing is you want to avoid drama on Saturday. The bigger aspect of it to me is mental, right? For Team USA to come out here, for Justin Cooper to win, proves that all of the racing he did all summer is just validation that, hey, if we do our thing tomorrow, we should win this thing. I think if you go out and struggle, you have another weekend like we did here in 2018, all those doubts, all the questions pop up, and then you have to kind of reset for Sunday. Right now, you just get to ride the momentum of Saturday.
Looking comfortable, looking relaxed with 3.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Justin Cooper led from the very first lap, didn't grab the whole shot, but he's now 9.3, or he was a moment ago, clear of Hunter Lawrence. And again, I think Lawrence just happy to sit there in 2nd. Don't need to risk anything on Saturday. Just get 2 solid scores. And obviously, you can safely say right now that those teams in the first 10 would be comfortable, I would imagine. Even Guam with a 14th and an 11th. So their MX2 rider in 11th, Paris.
And I think for Hunter there, he put in an effort. He wanted to see if he could crack Justin Cooper and get to the back of him. When that was thwarted and Justin Cooper put in his best lap, I think Hunter was like, okay, that's enough for today. I'm just going to bring this thing home in 2nd.
Under attack here, the number 2. Andrea Adamo of Italy, hanging on to 6th place at the moment.
I believe these two will be teammates next year. Is that correct?
I think one is orange.
Okay. I was thinking both of them would be on the same team, but either way, these are 2 of the youngsters that will be the future of the MX2 class, and interesting to see them already battling. But yeah, if you want to look, you know, this MX2 class for Europe, for you Team USA fans, there's an age limit to this class. You get this continual revolving door of new stars, and you're looking at 2 of the guys that would be quote-unquote next, as well as Kai DeWolf is just in front of them. He would be there as well.
I'm not surprised. I'm just basing it on what we saw in 2018, how much harder the ground is. Obviously, it looked a lot softer and a lot deeper, but more sandy back in 2018 because of the rain and all of that. But and a lot of riders talking about that overnight as well, saying how they ripped it, how they watered it. They thought it was going to be deeper, but it's pretty soon gone down to firm base, as you can see on the landings here.
Well, and Paul, the natural base here is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch old races from the 80s and the 90s, this is a firm clay track with really no sand to be seen. I can remember racing nationals back here in the late 90s, and there would be puddles in the ruts in the second motos because the bases were so hard.
Yeah.
It brought in sand over the years. It's improved the traction. It's actually made it a much better racetrack. Yeah. But yeah, that base where you're seeing the landing of that tabletop, it's down to the natural terrain.
But also just conversations that we've had as the back end of Langenfelder just stepping out of line, and Adamo just coming to a brief stop in that right-hander. Looks over his shoulder, knows he got caught there as well. But the conversations we've had, you said if they hadn't have brought in the sand when they did in 2018, this race probably wouldn't have gone ahead.
Yeah, for anybody that was complaining about the prep, and they surely don't understand the magnitude of rain that this track sustained over the course of 4 days. So without the sand, without more sand than this, it would have been an absolute quagmire. It would have been Fox Hills 99 all over again.
Yeah. So we're going to be 3 laps to go because there's 35 seconds on the clock, as you can see, and Justin Cooper now 12 seconds clear of Hunter Lawrence. Ivan Muscan third, about 7 seconds further back, but Perez fourth has a bit of distance over DeWolf, and then we've got Adamo and Langenfelder and Everts. So 7th and 8th, Langenfelder and Everts here. Everts desperate to find his way through. Obviously he had a debut appearance in the MXON last year at Mantova in Italy, Liam Everts. But all those riders now coming here for that second time, just excited at being here in the US on a track like this.
Yeah, of course. I mean, these guys grew up racing not only from motocross, but probably watching Motocross Nations here in 2018. You know, they were probably on 85s or maybe EMX 125 when that was going on, but this is their chance to shine. They get to represent their country on the biggest stage.
He's going to be on the outside here, Liam Everts, as he drops downhill. The rider closest to us now, not able to find a way through, and Langenfelder still hanging on to that 7th place. Bumps are just starting to form nicely now as well. I was talking to somebody earlier in the break, and they said, will they flatten the track? It's Ryan Villapoto actually, while the FMX thing was happening. He said they won't groom the track tonight. Well, I said no, they'll do the jump phases, but they'll leave the holes just because it's, you know, the only action we have. We don't have any support class races, no European Championship action or any of that. But Justin Cooper now 2 laps to go.
So who is that's an interesting dynamic, because if it was a USA race, they would start with a brand new racetrack again tomorrow morning. But if there's, you know, MXGP influence, different thought processes for how the track should be, that's interesting, because that will play a part to where the track will be rougher than what we saw from Motocross.
I'm not saying they won't go out through aspects of it, you know, but obviously, you know, the first turn they'll probably do the second turn, you know, whatever. But the braking bumps and things like that, I think the majority of those will stay. Perez, good ride for him in 4th place.
Really nice. Yeah, this is indicative of what we saw, the 2 Super Motocross races that he was attending this year. This is what he did. Good starts, solid riding, and for most USA fans, they're not familiar with him, right? They got their first taste of it above streak, but this is just more validation of that.
Just looking on the time screen, sector 1, fastest in the race for Justin Cooper, 14.4. Right, it's a full second quicker than Lawrence actually that time around.
Yeah, and I think Hunter basically at this point is just bringing this thing home. He's dropped back 15 full seconds off the back of Justin Cooper. But also you wonder, is Justin Cooper, is he pushing a little bit too much, right? You want to save energy for Saturday, but I think Justin Cooper has so much anticipation and so much want to built up in him. He wants to absolutely dominate this event, and we have no doubt that he was the right pick.
It's only qualifying though, Jay.
It is.
Don't get yourself too excited.
Well, I'm calm. My rate is probably the calmest it's been all weekend, because Team USA looks like they're here to do what they know how to do. That was my fear in 2018. They didn't put their best foot forward. They didn't ride like themselves.
Man down at the bottom of the hill.
About that.
Not one of our front runners, is it? I don't think it is. No. 135, Jared Vargas of... Oh, no. I'm just looking at this. We had a strange sector 3 through there, like 102.1, 1017, but just entering into the final lap, or it will be in a moment, won't it? Ivan Muscan heading uphill. He's in 3rd. Yeah, I don't think he's jumped that once.
No, and I think he's made a conscious decision that it's not going to be his line of choice. You know, if it shapes up perfectly tomorrow, maybe. But he's been here long enough to know that jump, if you do not make it as a rear wheel destroyer, it happens every single year at this race.
Stuart Edmonds broke a wheel, casing the jump in the MX Open practice earlier on today for Team Island. I said, go down. I said, you've got 10 minutes to go. Why don't you go get the spare bike? Don't have a spare bike. So it's literally rear wheel or go on the ground.
Makes it difficult.
Ivan Muscan, obviously we saw him ride up final round at Harlem.
Yes.
And some people sort of saying, oh, he didn't look that impressive on this 250 given his two-time world champion. Yes, he's doing only indoor at the moment, only Supercross. What did you make of his performance there? And how do you read his situation coming into this weekend?
So I wasn't too concerned.
Because I think he's a fantastic 250 rider, by the way.
Of course. And there was a little bit of a lack of fitness. I think the heat got to him in the second moto, but to me, the speed was impressive. He was able to go with the leaders when he was fresh, and I thought given another 3 weeks to prepare, he would be at his best here. And again, I've been to this race enough times, I've watched it in the past. Saturday is not the race, right? So many of these guys, once they get into a good position, they settle and they're complacent, knowing that the points are paid tomorrow. So again, you love to see Team USA. If you're an American, of course, you'd love to see Team USA doing this well, but everything resets tomorrow. None of these points transfer other than game time.
So as we look at Justin Cooper making his way through the final 3 or 4 corners, just looking at his lap time, 2:03.1 the fastest, Jago Kietz 2:02.8, so not much in it between the fastest MXGP lap of the race and the MX2 fastest lap of the race. But Justin Cooper through the final turn, he'll take the checkered flag, does exactly what he did in Assen in 2019, wins the qualifying race and wins it convincingly as well. Of course, we all know what happened there on race day. Collide with Jason.